Right team, so getting into the biggest news for New Zealand real estate over the past week. So I'm obviously by myself today. We've got Sam overseas in Singapore, we've got EOS tied up. So yep, last man standing, time to do some news. So first up, we've got the latest house price data from the Real Estate Institute. So this was for sales during February 2024. A couple of themes that came out of this. The first was that sales volumes were improved from sort of last year, but still weak compared to a typical pre-pandemic year, about 10% lower volumes than what we might have seen back then. Second point was that the stock on market, so homes for sale, has popped up quite a bit. And then third was that house price trend. Prices popped up very slightly, but if you look at maybe the last 3 months, things have sort of moved sideways, but with a bit of a bounce around. So if you put those three together, our sort of view on the market is things are likely to track sideways for a little while, maybe 6 months, just due to this higher level of stock in the market, although we do stand to be corrected just as things track out over the next couple of months. Next thing is that the government started to implement their fast-track consenting regime, and so they've taken the first steps towards introducing this bill. The key aim for it is to speed up consenting, particularly for large-scale infrastructure projects, so pretty exciting. And the legislation includes a pathway for ministers to make a decision about the sort of consenting approach for a project, rather than it necessarily getting tied up through some of the court systems. And if you want to learn more about that, I've got a video with Paula Bennett from our advisory team, just chatting around the topic, which is well worth checking out. She was definitely really excited about it. Number 3 is we had the Property Council's New Zealand Market Outlook breakfast for summer. Now that one was pretty cool. I actually was one of 2 presenters alongside Mike from BNZ, who's their chief economist, and I was talking more about the property market. What we did do during that session was we ran a series of interactive polls to get the sort of mood of the market from across 300 property professionals, and the big theme that came out from those polls was the role of interest rates this year in terms of risk to investors and also risks for developers. So well worth checking out, and if you want a copy of some of those results, just drop us an email, get in contact on LinkedIn, and be super happy to share those. Next up, we've got our weekly sales snapshot, and so this is powered by the team from Bayleys Auctions, sample of recent residential sales around New Zealand, and particular focus on like higher end residential in this week. And so number 1 is a massive sale in Dannemora in Auckland. So this was 21 Penwood Close in Dannemora, Tuscan Villa Vibes, 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms on about 5,000 square metres. This was marketed by Gary Robinson, Tony Delio from Bayleys House. Cool thing with this one is it hit a record price for the suburb. So a little bit of background, there were 42 buyer groups that visited the property, competitive bidding with 5 registered bidders, and this property actually sold under the hammer for a record of 3.85 million, so massive sale on that one. Next up we go up to Coatesville in Auckland, 176 Ridge Road. So this is designer serenity and spectacle, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms on 1 hectare. Central location within Coatesville and sensational views. Marketed by Deb Manning from Bayleys Coatesville, sold under the hammer for 4.73 million. And then finally we head down to Wellington. We've got 16 Bothamley Lane in Titahi Bay. Now this one is extraordinary beachfront home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 1,000 square metres, architecturally designed, absolute waterfront. This was marketed by our friend Ben Atwell from Bayleys Wellington Residential. We had a chat with Ben maybe a couple of months ago down in Wellington, and this one sold under the hammer for 2.02 million. So great property there as well. Next up, going offshore, our global partner Knight Frank. So they just released one of their big research pieces for the year, which is the Wealth Report for 2024. And so this looks at different trends in the private wealth sector. One of the big trends that they've picked this year is the huge role of private wealth within investment markets, both across commercial and residential. One of the other trends that they've picked up globally has been the resilience of the luxury residential markets in the face of higher interest rates. So if you do want to get a copy of that, just jump online and you'll be able to peruse that report through our partner Knight Frank. Then finally, to wrap up, we've got our property of the week, right? And this week we've got 2 properties at sort of opposite ends of the spectrum. So first up, we've got the ultimate New Zealand retail portfolio. It's a 49% non-management interest in a portfolio of 5 major shopping centres under the Westfield brand. Total land area totals up to about 60 hectares across Auckland and Christchurch. Value add, expansion and mixed use opportunities. If you want to learn more about these properties, contact Ryan Johnson or Jason Seymour from the Bayleys Capital Markets team. Then jumping down to Canterbury, we've got a residential property. So we've got 53 Canterbury Street in Ashley in Canterbury. And so this is a substantial sanctuary with a rural outlook, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on just over 1,000 square metres. It's built in 2023 with contemporary design. It's 5 minutes from Rangiora. If you want to learn more about this one, contact Angela Webb or Charlotte Heslip from Bayleys Christchurch. That's where we'll wrap up this quick special, and we'll see you next week. See ya.